Runda.
Puyo, Puyo.
I'm about to Puyo my pants.
That makes sense. It's like,
Real quick, Nate, rate the Order 1896 1 out of 10. Or 1 through 10.
never existed.
It existed.
Are we gonna talk about games we've been playing?
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
We're waiting for you.
So
Should we start
Nathan,
with that?
I will wait
Yep.
for you.
Okay, shut up. You can just start whenever because I can just trim the recording.
Right. Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Tropicalcast. This is episode 15. I'm Gabe, joined by Nathan here.
I am the same.
Perfect. And Cullen. And Brett.
Aloha.
Beautiful introductions, everybody. How are y'all doing? I thought we could take some time to just talk about what we've been playing, maybe what's been happening in our personal lives before we get to our topic of the episode.
I've been playing what have I been playing? Kind of going through Persona 5 Royal right now. Slowly. It's one of those kind of play it when I feel it. I just started Vampire Survivors on Game Pass. Very, very addicting roguelite. What else am I playing? A lot of Grounded still.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That's about it right now.
And you've beaten it, right? The main story of Grounded.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like it?
I did. It was kind of simple story. You progressively find out what happened and all that stuff. I don't really think the story is like the
draw of the game.
Yeah, like it's not the entree portion. It's like just the world and living in this world that seems small scale. Like when you think about it, it's just a backyard. But with the actual scale of you, it's just this huge, huge place. And yeah, just living in that, interacting with all the good and the bad creatures there. So it's a lot of fun.
I feel like that game was in like pre-launch for so long that when it launched, I kind of forgot about it. I don't know if others felt like that.
I mean, like we played it right when it like came out, right? Or roughly around there.
Or that was when it was in beta? Or was it just
the beta?
pre-launch?
It might have been the beta. I don't know, but I mean, we didn't play it for very long. So like when I went back into it, like I basically had to relearn everything. Not that we did much originally, but had to relearn the controls and everything and get used to it again. And yeah, it feels like a new game launch. Although I feel like if you're someone who played from early access up to release, you experienced most of it. But to me, a lot of it was fresh and new. So
you mentioned that you're playing Persona 5. I also am. I'm on the Switch. It's my first time playing it. I think I have more of a feeling to play it more often than you do, sounds like, because I'm playing it every day because I love it. I'm over 20 hours into it. I think it works it works so well on the Switch because it's a perfect game to play in the background while like watching something or doing something else. It's because it's so easy just to grind in those palaces. I mean the second palace. This is kind of my first full Persona playthrough, and I love it. It's awesome. Like the story's cool. The characters are cool. it's so flashy, which I like. Like even like that they make boring text conversations more fun just from the art style and like the splashes of like the characters' faces or whatever. The music's great, obviously. I think I think the soundtrack had been hyped up for so long for me, but like experiencing it for the first time through a playthrough, it's awesome, and it's like anime AF, which I love. Just like ridiculous storylines and like creatures and characters. Yeah, it's great. I'm probably going to play it for hours and hours because there's a lot of content, a lot of palaces,
A lot of homework.
a lot of homework. Yeah,
A lot of tests.
homework I've had to definitely Google just to make sure I get it right. What I think is so funny about that part of the game is that like when you answer questions right, people are like, "Whoa, he's so smart. How is he so smart? I want to be like him." But if you answer it wrong, they're like, "Wow, he's so stupid. How embarrassing. Why is he even here?" It's like people are so like either so nice or just so mean. There's no in between. I've also been playing Ghostwire Tokyo on PS5. I rented that for my local library. Tip for all of the people listening: go check out your library because there might be some games there. I think I think doing that is perfect because I wouldn't have wanted to pay full price for this game. Just because I think I think each person has their own value of what a game is, and like to me, like what this game is isn't something I would pay now $70 for. Like it's a fun game, but it's hard to compete with other games that just catch my attention, like the big AAA Sony games or even like I don't know. I think I would have paid full price for Persona. I mean, I did. That's because I think the hours are worth it to me. It goes as far as like a fun like podcast or music game. It's just it's like open world. There's a bunch of like check boxes, things to like collect or like side missions to do. I'm almost done with it. I have like 2 like main side missions left. Yeah.
Did you have the intention of picking that up at the library, or you just saw that available and your interest? Like you took it home. Or
I had no
you
interest in it.
intending to grab it? Okay.
Yeah, no, I was looking through like their collection one day and I was like, oh, I forgot this game came out this year. I might as well play it. It did come out this year, right? Not Snake.
I think so. Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
I'm getting this year and last year mixed up, but like Horizon came out this year, but it feels like it was last year, kind of.
Yeah.
The first like 4 months of this year feel like a different year.
Elden Ring feels like it was years ago.
I've been spending my time primarily with 2 games. I've been taking my regularly scheduled Witcher 3 break because just have to for that kind of game. But I've been playing Metroid Dread, which is really fun, tremendously fun game. I think it's been a while since I played a Metroidvania game and been able to just with new baby around, it's been really great to just be able to undock that and sit somewhere else or plug headphones into that where I'm able to just be a little bit mobile and play that. So that's been really fun. I've enjoyed, and so far I'm enjoying the gameplay loop of it. I do worry it's gonna wear on me, all the backtracking and the map gameplay. But it's been really pretty fun so far. Just scratches a great gameplay itch. And then I've been fresh off of Rings of Power watching. I've been playing Lord of the Rings Online, which is as you can guess, an MMORPG based in the Lord of the Rings, the Tolkien universe. So that's just been comfort food to be able to relax and just quest through one of my favorite worlds ever, and just kind of soak in the world. Be able to plod along. It's an MMO where it's not like I understand it as being rare to other MMOs, where MMOs are often these days just a chase to the end game, running as quickly as you can, because that's where all the content, the exciting content is kind of gated at the end game. In Lotro, it doesn't feel the same. Perhaps it's because of my own love for the world, but it also just encourages taking your time through really great quest writing, through the music, through even just the visuals. I mean, it's a game that came out 2000, it's mid 2000s, but somehow it still looks like a great game. They've done a lot of updates to the engine, but it's just a really, really great comfort food game. You don't feel progression feels really great in there. What's up?
Are they still updating that?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, this is like, I think they're having a mini expansion come out. So it used to be, it was released under Turbine Games as a developer studio, and they were with Daybreak as a publisher for a while. But then, yeah, they got passed off to another developer, Standing Stone Games, and so they've been supporting it still, I think, is a testament to the dedicated community who just enjoy the game for what it is and not for a chase to the end game and grind, just loot and raids, and which I think makes players like myself who don't have a lot of time to invest in MMOs. I feel alienated by WoW and those other games, because you feel like you're always missing out and you're never going to be able to get to the competitive spot you want to, because much of the game is competitive. At least it can be, but Notro is very much relaxed and just paced well. And it's just a great leisure activity. But Metroid Dread is like the exact opposite. Oh my god, there's so much stress in that game. Like Emmy is chasing you, and
that's part of the reason I put it down. Yeah.
Which it's. I am wondering if I'm going to be able to carry through with Metroid Dread, although it's been really fun. There is still a lot of more map I have to uncover, and that means a lot more backtracking and all of that. So we'll see.
I think in that game the level design is like so good that like if you play it kind of linear, but whenever you like finish a boss or like finish a certain like plot point, like the game will like transport you most of the time pretty close to that spot to the next place, which is super nice compared to like past Metroid games. It's pretty user friendly and like not making you have to backtrack across entire maps to get somewhere else. It's nice.
Sure. Yeah. I had a lot of fun. I have only beaten one boss. I mean, so not including I've taken down 3 Emmys, including the tutorial one. And I've only beaten one boss, and fighting that boss was just so fun. I was able to like just kind of lay down on my bed with my child next to me and figure out how to fight this boss. It was really great fun. So I am excited for the next boss fight, because I think it also gives a satisfying itch, tickles a satisfying itch when you avoid an online guide And it really you kind of just start shooting everywhere, trying to destroy a brick or trying to figure out on the map what area you haven't discovered yet. I think it encourages exploration. Like if you want to beat this game, you just gotta explore and accept that it's part of the process to backtrack too. I mean, it's in the game, right? No EA, but it's yeah. I mean, it's a Metroidvania. You got to get your upgrades, and you got to go back to other areas to be like, oh wow, there's that door right at the very beginning frame or stage where you started out at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I wanna jump back. I really want to get back into that because like I've been looking for a game to give me that same feeling I had when I played Hollow Knight for the first time, without like replaying Hollow Knight, and like the Metroid. Okay, like the parts of Dread I played where I'm not having to stress about getting chased by an Emmy, I really liked. It was always when I enter those rooms and there's one chasing me and it chases me down even though it shouldn't have. And I was just like, but like the rest of it felt so good. So maybe I'll get back into that.
Well, one last thing about Dread is I really like how it tutorializes the player. It feels very seamless. It feels like you're connecting at these network stations with the computer program Adam, who's giving you information about how to progress to the next level, and it feels just very seamless and just part of the game, as opposed to endless pop-ups or windows. It feels it's part of the environment too, where you're kind of stuck alone with no one, and you gotta dig yourself out of this really precarious situation. And so you gotta, okay, let's get to the next network station so I can get some more helpful information about really how to progress, how to get Samus out of her situation.
Have you escaped Emmy yet?
Tartarus?
I've stunned them twice,
Okay.
which, yeah, I was shocked. Yeah, it's an incredibly. I mean, I've been killed quite a lot though. Just been, fucking xenomorphed endless amount of times. But yeah, I've stunned them twice.
It's so satisfying when you land it.
Yeah, it absolutely, it's really satisfying, and you're like, oh shit, then you kind of forget where your surroundings are, and which area of the zone you wanted to get to in the first place. You're just so shocked over the idea that you actually did this after the last 97 times of getting, yeah.
Cullen.
Well, I started God of War. It's amazing. I can't wait to get back to it after we're done. And I've also been playing Marvel Snap on the phone. It's like a card game like The Witcher, kind of, but with Marvel characters. It's on your phone. Try it out.
I have heard a little bit about Marvel Snap. I'm always looking for good mobile card game.
Dude, I don't even like phone games, but this game I've been playing a lot.
He's been addicted. Yeah, I'll go out and he's just Marvel Snap, Marvel Snap, Marvel Snap.
Hey, man, it's good.
Is there any like PvP or any kind
It's
of
all
multiplayer aspect?
PvP.
It's all
Right.
PvP. Ooh, I like that actually a little bit.
And then the way you get more cards is by upgrading your specific or your cards you already have, which seems kind of weird, like when I say that, but you basically you get points for a specific card after every match, whether you win or lose. And once you get enough points, you can level it up. And then once you level it up, you depending on what level it is, it gives you I don't know how to describe it, like a little meter, and it fills the meter, and then every like 4 levels you get a new card or something. So pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. It gets a little RNG-ish depending on the locations or whatever, but it's really cool to see all like the Marvel characters, especially the lesser known ones, but they're in the game and they're pretty cool. So
I mean, like, how many characters you kept telling me about characters that you were getting that you didn't know were X-Men characters or
yeah, and then I just recently restarted watching the '92 X-Men on Disney Plus, and like so many of the characters that are in the game are in this X-Men show, the heroes and the villains. So it's pretty cool to see that. And then obviously the Black Panther movie just came out, so there's a bunch of Black Panther characters in the game. So actually the season pass right now is Black Panther based. But anyway, yeah, so I recommend to try it out at least for you guys and anyone listening or watching. The matches literally take like 3 minutes. There's only 6 turns. So it's really a nice, quick play. If you just have 10 minutes, you can play like 2 or 3 of them. So pretty cool.
I tried it out. Yeah, I can say that it's designed very well. Like for a mobile game, like it's simple to pick up. The animations are like flashy and satisfying whenever you do anything, and they kind of gesture with their hand. Yeah, it's great. I think I stopped because I knew I might get addicted.
Yeah.
I wanted to stop myself, so I uninstalled it.
Big rip.
Yeah.
Actually, another really cool thing is you don't like feel like you need to spend money to be better. Like it's very not easy to win. Like, and actually, it kind of, let's say you buy like a pack of gold, it only lets you buy a certain amount of upgrade materials every day. So you can't just like spend $100 in one day on gold and then use that gold to upgrade your cards, because it will only let you upgrade a certain amount every day.
I mean, upgrading your cards doesn't even do anything. I mean, besides, give you access to getting more cards, but like doesn't actually give you any gameplay benefit from it.
Unless you get a really good card.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying though, but like upgrading Star-Lord, let's say, isn't going to make your Star-Lord any better than anybody else's Star-Lord, so
yeah, that's true.
Well, shall we get to the topic of the episode?
Oh yeah.
This idea came from our own Cullen himself. So there's definitely games that we've all put a lot of hours into, a time sink, if you will. So our topic of the episode, topic of the episode, this episode is games we put the most hours into. I'm not sure how many we should share. I thought 2 or 3 would be a good number.
Yeah, I agree.
Who wants to start?
I guess I'll start.
I was going to say, I'm going to start.
You can start. Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry.
Definitely start.
Just in a, I guess, round robin format. I just want to quickly throw out an honorable mention. I haven't completed it yet, but I put in 91 hours into Witcher 3. So this is very much an honorable mention. 91 hours into Witcher 3. The game counter says I've only completed 22% of the game.
Christ.
So I'm projected that I might, yeah, that's gonna be a haul. But that's my quick honorable mention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big boy.
Maybe about 400 hours.
Right? What's 91 times 5-ish, At least
5,
400
almost.
hours.
Yeah. And then you got the DLC though.
But I am, yes. I do think it does account for the DLC. Yeah. I mean, part of that is attributed to I like just walking in that game. Walking from objective, from location to objective, and that takes up so much of the time. So walking is what I do the most time doing, what I spend the most time doing.
You You are the Walker, not the Witcher.
Toss a coin
Yeah, that's a
to
banger.
your Witcher writer, who is probably going to be out of a job due to popular demand, I guess.
Well, I feel like you should just go ahead with your number 3 also.
I don't have a number 3.
You know, your next one, whatever.
Yeah, so my next one would probably be Dirty Bomb. Dirty Bomb is actually, well, it's no longer a running game. It's a first person free to play first. It was a free to play first person shooter that was developed by Splash Damage. Who I don't even know what they're up to. I think they're involved with a Microsoft property now. I can't remember which one it is.
They were helping on
Isn't it with Gears or
MCC.
something? Oh, it was
I
on
think-
MCC.
I think they were helping MCC.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Splash Damage was, or I'm sorry, Dirty Bomb was it was, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a hero, it was a hero shooter, right? So much like Overwatch. But the free to play aspect, the engine of that was basically you would, every level up, you would get a case of cards. And those cards were for each of one of the heroes, and there would be a different loadout, and then you could equip those cards in each match to choose the hero you wanted or the loadout you wanted to play as. I don't know. I spent, I think, over 250 hours on it, so not as much as what Witcher 3 is going to be, or perhaps other multiplayer games people will play, but I was surprised how much I got out of it for being a free-to-play game. But it was just a fun shooter.
So, sorry, you were right. They did help on Gears of War. So they were support on Gears Ultimate 4, 5. They helped port MCC to PC. And then I don't know if they did Gears Tactics or they just helped support it, but nope, they developed Gears Tactics. So yeah.
Well, okay. One of mine would be Neo 1 and technically Neo 2. So, if you know anything about them, for one, they're similar-ish to Souls games. The difference being there's like a map and there's mission instead of being like an open world. So you can replay the missions at any time. And then also it's Diablo-esque in the fact that you get the loot. Nathan, you notice, you've seen me play it many times. So really you could either grind levels to level up more, or you can grind levels to get specific loot you want. You can also switch between every single New Game Plus at any point once you've unlocked one. And then there were 3 like DLC expansions for each game, and they all added a new difficulty level. So yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time. I think I have 230 hours in Neo 1 and 150 in Neo 2. And going for the platinum trophies also helped to add time to that. But the harder difficulties are really, really hard actually, and you really have to. That's when you really need to focus on getting your best gear, and you kind of have to do the same thing over and over to like try and get a specific gear you want, or enough materials to level up your gear. And there's this thing called soul matching where, there's too many mechanics in this game, but if you have like a sword level 10 and you want it to be level 11, you have to like fuse it with another sword that's level 10 or higher. So then, once it's 11, you need to fuse it with a sword that's level 11, and so on and so forth. And you want to do that to all your pieces of armor, all of your weapons that you're going to be using. And then sometimes it's just kind of a waste because then you randomly get a sword that's like level 15. And then you're like, well, yeah. But I don't regret any moment I spent in Neo, whether it made me mad or not, because it's a frustrating game sometimes. But I look back very fondly on Neo 1, and that was actually an honorable mention for a game I wish I could replay for the first time from our last podcast. But also my first real Souls-like that I beat. So, yeah.
That game has so many mechanics.
So many.
It's ridiculous.
They like
It's like
adding more in New Game Plus too. It's like it's absurd.
they pulled like a combat as a concept in gaming. They added so much layers to it. I mean, I feel like you get that a lot in Souls games, but especially with the loot stuff, that was just overwhelming,
Yeah, it kind of is.
but really fun.
Even like the gameplay though is like, the key pulse, getting your stamina back. Eventually you can like key pulse into a different stance because there's 3 stances, and then you can like get a like buff or a damage buff when you do that, and like I don't know, or you can like even switch weapons during a key pulse, and then like if you do that, you like go straight into a move you set to it. Like it gets crazy, but it's really cool to experiment. Not to mention all the different weapons there are and stuff. So yeah.
Very nice. I can share my first one. It's kind of a collection of games. It's Madden 06 through 08. I have Nathan to thank for this, because before I played Madden 06, I had no interest in football at all. But then I played it over at your house when we were younger, probably like sixth grade, and I just like fell in love with football in that moment, because I was playing as the Falcons, as Michael Vick, who just makes football fun. It was awesome, and like from that moment, I just became obsessed with playing that game, obsessed with the franchise mode, with the rookie mode where you like make your like get your rookie, you like follow their whole career. Yeah, I spent countless hours just playing simulated games, like in like the play now mode and franchise mode for like seasons. Yeah, so fun. But like I liked 06 so much that I went back, and I think I went to like GameStop to get 05 and 04. Not as fun games, but still fun. I'm not in it.
06 was or 06 was the mic. Oh, that's the Donovan McNabb one.
McNabb. Yeah, man.
Yeah, 04 was Michael Vick.
Michael
Me and
Vick.
Mac Broma used to play that all the time.
Nice. Yeah. I'm definitely not into Madden as much, or even at all, as I used to be. I've kind of fallen out of love with football, but it's still nice to look back on that moment in my life where those games are just so fun on PS2. I think because I've played the games from PS2 than the ones from like the current gen. I think those games were more fun on PS2 because they were less realistic. Like they were like between like NFL Street and like the Madden of these days, where it's like kind of realistic but kind of not, with like the quarterback vision, the cone thing, and just yeah, Nathan gets it. They were fun. They're so
That was a game with mechanics.
yeah.
I feel like that's just a thing with sports games in general, because like I used to love playing the WWE versus SmackDown games on the PS2, and I don't remember what version it was, but Xbox gave one of the newer WWE games away, and Nate and I played it one time at my house, and I don't think we won a single match, did we? Because we couldn't it was just so
Mechanic-y.
The controls were, I feel like the controls were
abysmal.
awful. Yeah.
They were awful. The mechanics weren't explained at all. Like we kept trying to pin the guy, and he just would not pin, I guess. And like the game would not tell you what to do. And like we tried like two or three matches, and we said fuck this, and we went and got food.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, last time Nathan was here, we played NBA Live 2005. And I still think that game holds up, but Brett and Nathan are a bunch of haters. Yeah.
Was I hating on that?
Yeah, you were like, this game's not even good, Cullen. After we did 2 slam dunk contests and Brett rage quit
Oh god,
because he couldn't
stupid.
Oh,
perform a dunk.
yeah, that slam dunk contest is not.
It's literally the best slam dunk contest ever done, though.
Mm.
Like the 2K ones now are just Guitar Hero, but stupid. Once you like know how to do a dunk, like it makes more sense.
Although that one dunk was pretty insane. Was that the Vince Carter one?
Yeah.
That was actually ridiculous. He did like 6 somersaults.
Yeah. And then it's between the legs or something.
It was ridiculous.
It was stupid.
Off the screen. Yeah. Good stuff.
For sports games, I also want to just like include NBA Live 08 on PS2 and NBA 2K9 on PS2 and 2K14 for 360. But a lot of a dumb amount of hours into those games because they were really fun.
I'm just trying to think of how much 2K9 we played at Nate's house. Literally, just every night at his house, just throw that KG disc in the Xbox, and
He's on the cover doing this.
yep.
Yeah. Dude's always sway in the game.
I feel, just as a side note, sorry, I feel like the more they try and make the sports games more realistic, like the more, not like unrealistic, but the more like unfun they get. Because for one, you're never gonna make a super realistic sports game because, just computer, like it's not gonna happen. Like even playing the new, I bought 2K23 for $70, and I played like 3 games before I uninstalled it, just because it's like, okay, in the new 2K, you have to green bar a shot to make it. Which, I mean, I agree with them making it harder to make a shot, but I can like shoot the ball and it can release early from my fingers, but still go in. So like, that's not like, but that wouldn't be a green release, right? In real life, if that was. So it's just kind of like, and then it just kind of put me off. And obviously, if I played it more, I'd get more used to it. But it's just unrealistic more so than, and just not as fun. So yeah.
I wonder if there's a way that there isn't really that anybody could do at this time, but if there's a way to track how realistic those games have gotten, it's just like one easy metric. Not easy, but like I wonder if you in a Madden game, maybe it was more easier for you to score than it is now. I guess I'm trying to think about what makes these games more realistic and then therefore less fun. You hear commentators all the time talking about, oh my gosh, he had a video game stats or something out of a video game. I'm wondering, are those games moving away from those moments of spectacle, or is it just kind of, I mean, that's where, I don't know if it's nostalgia or what, but that kind of makes me think about it as like now I don't know if there's a difference. I'm trying to think of what that difference could be if games are becoming more unfun because they're trying to incorporate maybe a little bit too much, or not focusing on the arcadey, the insane spin. I don't know. It's hard for me to think about it. I mean, the animations have progressed. There's so many different tackling animations now, whereas in Madden 06 there was like, I don't know, 30 that you would see over and over and over again. So I wonder what that is, because I feel like there's something there. It could also be how they're commodifying, games like 2K, where there's press A, you have to pay 5 cents, kind of deal. So I'm not sure what I think there's a very interesting conversation to be had there.
I think before we move on, I think part of it, for me at least, like the part of the reason I stopped playing 2K was I pretty much only play the My Player mode. And like back in like 2K12, 2K13, you would come into the league, you were like what, like a 65 overall maybe? So like you're not amazing, but you're not garbage. Like you probably deserve a spot in the league. But like I feel like in the new 2Ks, like you're like a 40. Like I don't know. I mean, like I haven't done My Player mode since 2017, I think. I can't remember, but like, have any of you guys done a My Player mode in any of the more recent ones?
I did in like 19 was the last one.
Do you remember like your starting ranking?
I feel it was like probably like 60 to be honest, but
No, still okay. I swear I saw somewhere someone was like a 40, and I'm like, okay, realistically, you're not getting drafted in the NBA if you're a fucking 40 overall. Like
NBA Live 2005, there were people like 29 overall. Remember?
I feel like the old NBA lives were like so
They were
weird on their on their rankings though. But like I mean like, and then like part of it is like I'm playing My Player mode because like I want to make my own guy and I want to try to win the championship. I don't care about all this external stuff. Like I was just like,
that's what really put me off of it. Like what I liked about the PS3 and 360 era was you do a game, you do a press conference, and you do the next game. And
yeah.
so you could just go game, upgrade in between. And now I have to you can't skip any of the cutscenes. There's all this weird shit, frequency vibrations. Like, dude, I don't give a shit about that. Freak. And then your best friend dies in a car crash, and like
What?
I've
missed so much.
Have you three ever
and I don't want to put up with it. I just want to. So basically what I do now is I just make a player and put him in a franchise mode and then pick that team basically, because that's the only way to do it.
So sorry, Cullen. Have you three ever enjoyed one of those stories?
No.
I mean, like I said, like I just want to make a player, join a team, upgrade my guy, and win the championship. Like the story, like I don't need like. Some people might like it. Like I know Spike Lee did. Was that 2016?
Yeah.
So like some people might like stories in this, but like for me, like I want to play a basketball game,
And you can fill the story in your head back in the day. You know what I mean? So everyone plays the same story now. The only difference is whether you're a point guard, a center, or whatever. But it's literally the same story. There's no branching paths. There's no nothing. And now they have the thing where you can walk around and buy shoes in the city. That takes even more time away from playing the actual game of 2K. So it's just,
I think that's a good point. It's kind of like
it's like The Sims now.
The Sims.
2K Sims.
Sims, yeah.
What you just said made me think of. It kind of feels like the player has lost some of the agency that they can kind of have their own narrative, like their own power fantasy of what their player is going through.
Yeah.
Because if you're in somebody else's narrative, you may not enjoy that narrative, or you may not like it. It robs a little bit of the player's imagination of the power fantasy, I think, a little bit, because it is kind of the power fantasy, right? Like, you start small and you become the GOAT.
Yeah.
Like Tony Marshall, like that guy was
Literally the GOAT.
You felt great playing as him. You could just pull up from anywhere, and you knew exactly when you brought his 3-point level to where it needed to be, past 90, and you're like, okay, this guy's he's where he needs to be.
Yeah, those were the days. Love Tony Marshall.
Clay Rodman got more MVPs though.
I don't think either of them got an MVP, but we should check before Stadia shuts down. Man, we just went on a 20-minute spiel about sports games. All right, well, Brett, you better.
The emotions. Okay, I want to do a quick honorable mention too. Not a whole lot of single players can get me to keep playing nowadays. But one of them is Skyrim. I've talked about Skyrim a lot. I love this game. I just checked on the special edition that they released for Xbox One. I have 168 hours in. And I still have it installed. I don't have a whole lot of games that I keep installed outside of multiplayer stuff, but Skyrim's one of them, just because I always like to just jump in and go fuck around the world and explore. I remember on the 360 version, I can't check this, but I had 2 or 3 characters that pretty much I ran through all the content with. So I probably have another 200 hours on that version.
At least.
Yeah, at least. So
some games, when you go to click on load, will tell you the amount of hours you spent on it. So maybe it's worth a check.
I could, yeah. I don't know, but
yeah, do that a lot.
That's a honorable mention. Since Gabe bundled a few, I'm gonna do that too. So my Switch is pretty much Nintendo for me has always been just basically a Pokemon machine, and I've branched out a bit, but Pokemon's still my main focus. So on the Switch, I checked. I have 395 hours in the main series games. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, I have 135 hours in. A lot of that was shiny hunting and fighting those.
It's every hour of your Pokemon journey.
How?
That's all you do in Sword and Shield.
Mm-hmm. Sword, I only have 80 hours in, which is still a lot. I finally actually just beat the DLCs on those this year. So, and this is one I was not expecting so many hours on. Pokemon Legends Arceus, which came out in January, I have 215 hours in.
That's nuts.
A lot of that was shiny hunting too, and it's so easy to shiny hunt in there. And what I would do was when I was working closes, I would come home and just for an hour, I would just shiny hunt most nights. Just do an hour of that. It was mindless, easy stuff I didn't have to focus on. So yeah, that's my number 3 though. And then that's probably going to increase a lot with the new game that comes out this week.
Next week.
This week.
This week, you're right.
Nathan.
I'm not ashamed to have just opened the Google Sheets window and start putting in the sum of hours I've spent for Total War game.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this.
Okay, okay, so let's see. You need that sum function, baby. I should find a new hobby. So through the Total War franchise, which I started playing back in 2012. So there's several games. Real-time strategy game that has spanned into historical periods and fantasy periods, different settings. Getting to number, so through 7 of those games, I've racked up 779 hours, which is that's a lot of time as I say it out loud. And all of it has been really, it's interesting because those games I do get a little bit, I do get very immersed into the gameplay, and there's a lot of narratives that play out in my head about how different campaigns are going, and how there's just a lot of narrative attachment I have to those games, because there's a lot of it is so driven on gameplay and usually not too much of a narrative framework, but as there leaves a lot of room to kind of see different story outcomes. I'm not really able to elaborate on this very well, but there's just been so many different campaigns to go through, which has led to that kind of number.
How'd you first get into that franchise, that series?
I think I'm not entirely sure. I think I had seen it off from a distance. I had always enjoyed kind of strategy games on the computer. Like in particular, there was a Battle of Middle Earth series, and that was an RTS that really I loved so much. And I think as through much of my teenage years, where I was mostly playing on an Xbox, and there just wasn't a library for those games like Total War, you kind of saw them out from a distance. But once I got a laptop for college, I was like, let me try this out. And yeah, that was the game I mostly played in 2012, because I don't think I didn't bring my Xbox to college in my first year until I borrowed Brett's old TV, the old family.
The Vizio?
No, it was like that box, the CR, that.
Oh God, yeah. Okay, I remember that.
But yeah, that was that's where I got hooked into that.
So which one has the most hours? Warhammer 2?
No, it's actually I think it's Shogun 2 or Rome 2. It's actually Rome 2. Yeah. Warhammer 2 was 116 hours, but Rome 2 was 200 hours.
Those games also have a lot of mechanics, which is why I've been slow to get into it, even though I want to try.
Yeah, there are many layers. A lot of fun campaign and battle gameplay. It's one of those games where you can see armies clash, which just really drives an epic factor. I don't see too much.
Next for me, I gotta lump another 2 together just because they're the same franchise. But Persona 4 Golden and Persona 5 both have over 200 hours. Well, that's only because I went for the platinum in both of them. Basically, so 2 full playthroughs, basically. Yeah. But I just sent a meme in our Discord yesterday, I think, with the Batman and the Persona forecast. But that's basically, I actually talked about that in I think the last video too we made. But you really don't want to leave the game like when you're finishing. And so sometimes you want to just go and start another playthrough, and you get to be OP now because you can summon any persona, and you have a bunch of stuff for New Game Plus. So it's kind of like another power fantasy, but this time, since you beat the game, you're rewarded to basically do whatever you want. And just being able to choose different outcomes, like or different dialogue options in Persona, and you don't have to focus on grinding like your knowledge and stuff as much because it carries over. So then you can go like do a mini game, or hang out with friends more, whatever you want to do in Persona. But it's kind of cool to play through a second time, because then you don't have to focus on like grinding all of your stats and stuff. You can kind of just play it at your own leisure and summon any persona you want. So you could steamroll through the dungeons, and you can date different characters, obviously. So I don't know, it's really cool to play through multiple times. And actually, another really cool thing I noticed was like the low level personas in 4 are not the same as the low levels in 5. Some of like the things are like level 4 in Persona 5 are like level 74 in Persona 4. So it's kind of cool to see that difference. Versus like Pokemon, it's a lot of the same. Like there's always like a Pidgey type near the beginning, a bird or whatever, and so on. So that's really cool. Yeah.
Put some respect on Starly.
Staraptor was the best bird. Yeah, I agree. But that's exactly what I'm saying. It's a Pidgey or a Swallow or a whatever. Yeah. So Persona, yeah. Gabe, I hope you spend 100 hours. And Brett. And Nate, you need to finish 4. When's the last time you charged your Vita?
What was that? 2019. I was playing that.
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah. Maybe I should buy it for you on Steam.
That would be very kind of you. I'll buy you a Total War game.
I already have 4, but I barely played them.
I'll buy you one of the endless amount of DLCs.
Oh, all right. Deal.
We'll see.
Great. Gabe?
I think my next one is Kingdom Hearts 1. Not because it's like a long game, but just because I've played it so many times. Collectively, I've played it like the most of the games in that series. There's one playthrough I did where I got every weapon, every keyblade, and like one of them was the Ultima one, where you have to get a bunch of resources. You have to like mine for one resource in like one area, which like can take a while. Yeah, that's one of my favorite games of all time. So I'm not surprised I played it a ton of hours. I probably keep playing it for the rest of my life. It's so fun.
It's very replayable too, and like not super daunting to get back into.
Yeah, like the first few hours, I wish I could skip. I can't. Like the Tarzan level, the Alice in Wonderland level, I would just skip those every time.
I'd agree. All right, you guys are probably gonna hate me for this, but my next one, and this still a game I occasionally play, is Fortnite.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Obviously, I jumped in like I think Cullen and I played season 1.
I remember preloading him when I worked at Comcast. So I was there before anybody. And I think you played it like the day after, yeah.
Yeah. So we were there like basically at the start, and like I put so many hours into this game. It's just like there's never really been like a big cultural event like game wise. And this was just like, I mean, like I still load into lobbies on this game, and I'm just like starstruck with all the different skins there are. Like, I mean, like my skin equipped right now, I have Darth Vader. My buddy Zach that I was playing with yesterday, Luke Skywalker. So we're running around as Luke and Darth Vader, just you know, shooting up people. And we had a bounty. We had to go after a Master Chief, which, like, to me is just like Darth Vader hunting down Master Chief is just ridiculous.
Assault rifle.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so I got them, and like they have a new mechanic if you haven't played in a while where you can carry people now. So I'm carrying them, and I went and I threw them off a mountain, and I was like, for a brick,
right?
huh?
Like Tekken.
Yeah, basically. Not into a volcano. Well, actually, there is a place that was a volcano in the current map. But so I threw him off, and I'm like, for a brick, he flew pretty good, which is a line from Halo. And my buddy Zach just like I thought he was gonna cry. He was laughing so hard. But like, yeah, it's just like it's fun. It's like there's always events going on. Like I feel like every other week there's a different like event or like a new game mode or stuff like that. And they're always updating the weapons. They're adding new stuff in. They're bringing back old stuff. They're vaulting stuff that doesn't work or, you know, a little overpowered, but like they listen. Like, and like, I don't know, like there's very few games that scratch that itch for me. And like, every time a new like free to play game comes out or a game that has a battle pass, I look at it and I'm like, you have a prime example in Fortnite of how to do this, and like no one else has really made it click in the way that Epic has. I checked on here and this doesn't have my like Switch hours, which I don't play it much on Switch anymore, but like I did for a while when I was traveling or at like somebody's house. I have 543 hours in it. So yeah.
That's impressive. Wow.
What's your favorite skin? Or
Are we counting like any media skins or just like the Fortnite skins themselves? Like the actual like Epic developed skins?
I wouldn't say any skin that has been purchasable or obtainable in the game. And as an add-on to that, what has been your favorite IEP implementation in that game? Whether it's how like Spider-Man may web swing across the map, or that's really cool. I'm guessing other skins have different, exactly. But web go twisty towers or whatever they're called, twisty towers. Tilted towers, right?
So I think some of my most like fun like mode stuff they've done has been the Star Wars stuff. There's a good amount of skins. They had like the last season they would have it where Vader and his ship would like land somewhere on the map and you could go fight him. So it would be Vader and like I want to say like 2 or 3 stormtroopers with him. But like that dude could force grab you. He threw his lightsaber at you. He would jump to you. Like he was a hard motherfucker to take down. But if you killed him, you got his lightsaber. And then the stormtroopers would drop their blasters, and like they're actually really good because they had unlimited ammo because you're shooting lasers. But they've had like other people's lightsabers, and they all like they don't just have one moveset, like they each have their own moveset based off whose lightsaber it is. Which is really cool. And they've had a bunch of different skins. Like I own, so Vader was Battle Pass, but like I've bought Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Obi-Wan from the new show had a skin. But they have a bunch of others like Rey, Kylo, Luke, Leia, and Han were just added. I think Finn's in the game too. And then like stormtroopers. So also the Dragon Ball Z event they had earlier on was actually really cool because it added like the Kamehameha, which was like super overpowered, but like you only had like 3 uses with it, so you had to be careful, and it took a while to charge up. But they also had in the Nimbus Cloud, which was really good for like getting around the map, so that was cool. I didn't like the skins. The skins were hideous, but yeah. Favorite skin though? Ooh. Chief, I really like Chiefs. Like they made the Halo art style fit the game very well. So yeah.
No Darth Maul skin?
Huh?
No Darth Maul skin?
They don't have one yet, but you know if they did, I'd be there day one.
It would be.
Darth Maul awaiting.
See,
5.
and that's the thing. Like most of these high profile skins, they give them like their own emote now. So like when I bought Mandalorian, he gets a thing and it pops up his face in a hologram and he says, "This is the way."
Nice.
Or like Vader has his like Imperial March walk, which is really cool. I was really sad Obi-Wan didn't get one because he has so many like quotable stuff you could have done. Like, can you just imagine a "hello there" emote or another happy landing? But like, I have a Ryu skin and he has his Shoryuken he does, and like only he can do it. So that's kind of cool.
That's cool. It's special.
Yeah. I would buy a Darth Maul skin day one.
Have that Battlefront 2 animation. He swings his this little kick at the end.
Yeah. Is there any more that we want to share?
I've got one more, but
Go ahead, bro.
I can wait.
I didn't have one. That's why I asked.
I got one more too.
I'll share the one I just kind of thought of as
Oh.
It looks like that beep 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 that frog from
Crazy Frog?
what's that? Crazy Frog. Yeah.
What do you see about me?
What's going on here?
The one thing I was gonna say, and I thought about while Gabe was talking about Madden and a brief little bit of NBA or 2K. The games that I brought, I counted hours for, which means one thing, but I can't imagine. There really is no way to quantify the amount of hours that, especially folks here on this podcast, have played 2K for. It is like a cultural, like a social bonding agent. Incredibly, like, oh, you're gonna go to your friend's house. Oh, somebody's coming over. We're gonna play 2K. Like, it's not even planned. It was just like organic. Oh, we're gonna play one game. Oh, okay, you lost. I gotta do a rematch because this or this or this. Oh, okay, you lost. Now let's play again with the other person. And then it was just like over and over and over again. I can't imagine how many hours have been logged playing into that franchise, because if that wasn't just a game, you would play your, my player thing at home, or my, franchise. Like it was a social activity, which was insane.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it still is like whenever I go over to Joe and Shelley's, like if pretty much anyone comes over, like especially like Josh though, Josh will come over, him and Joe, 2K first like 30 seconds, it's loaded up. And then if Matt comes over too, oh my god, yeah, they'll be there they'll be on that, just handing controllers off the whole night. So
that's where Fortnite and the Switch comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Marvel Snap.
Or Marvel Snap.
My other one was just Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3 and The Last of Us, all Naughty Dog games. All great stories. Well, Uncharted 3 didn't have a good story, but basically almost all of my hours were in the multiplayer. And I don't know how many hours I have in Uncharted 2 or 3 because there was no tracking of the multiplayer. But several hundreds for sure in each of those. And the PS5 says I have 453 hours in The Last of Us remastered. Mostly because of the multiplayer, because that shit is addicting. Well, here's the thing. I still have yet to play anything like that because it's 4v4 and I play survivor mode mostly, which is the elimination. So, you die, you don't get revived. In the normal game mode, you can revive your teammates. This one, you don't. And the maps are so well crafted. Then you have to go find the resources, and people can hear you if you're like sprinting and they see you on the mini map. It's crazy. If you haven't tried it, at least try it once. The Last of Us Factions, especially because the standalone is going to come out next year, and they actually just hired the battle pass, the dude in charge of the battle pass of Fortnite. So hopefully it'll have a great battle pass. Brett was alluding to nobody having a good battle pass.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't think the battle passes are bad. It's just like Epic's integration
really cool.
of the battle pass and like the content and like the items you get with it it all just works really well together. And no one else has been able to replicate that whole factor.
I agree. So hopefully with the head of that, they'll be able to do that too, especially because the game will most likely be free to play and on PC. So I think it'll be even better this time when the second one comes out. It's kind of weird to go back to it now because it's really it's a PS3 game at heart. So like it has the PS3 like kind of mechanics in the shooting. So it's a little weird, but it's still fun occasionally. But that's why I'm really excited for the next Last of Us Factions. Yeah. And we already know what Brett's next one's going to be.
What is it?
I would have guessed Halo 3 or Animal Crossing something.
So here's the thing. I can't see how many hours I have in Halo 3 anymore. Like OG Halo 3, I should say. I probably had a really, really lot of time spent in that game, but Halo is it. So between the three that are on Xbox One, so Infinite, MCC, and Halo 5, how many hours do you guys think I have?
I'm gonna say 1,092.
More. He has more in MCC. I'm pretty
Not that
sure.
fact.
Oh my god. 1,502.
More.
Okay.
Are you playing it right now?
No.
While you're recording this podcast?
No. Okay, wait. Gabe, what was your guess?
1,502.
Okay, so in MCC alone, I have 1,642 hours. So, total between those three games, I've got 2,612 hours.
My God.
So Halo 5, I have 794 hours in. Infinite, 176, and then MCC, I have 1,642 hours.
How many days is that?
Well, okay, for MCC, like it tells you in like days. So I had to convert it.
Convert, yeah.
So I had 66 days in MCC. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's like months. I was joking. That's
so that's
probably
like
2 months.
two whole months of just MCC. I mean, it's just like multiplayer stuff's the stuff I'm gonna keep going back to, and like there's just so much in MCC to like go to. Like, you know, it's not a single game. Like, there's 6 games in it. You know that. So like, if I don't want to play 3, I can play 2 or 1, or if I'm on drugs, play Reach. You know, like
ODST.
they don't have like multiplayer for that. It's just firefight, which I do
Master
play it.
Chief Collection.
Huh?
So it's not really the Master Chief Collection.
Well, I mean, it was originally. It was all 4 games he was in.
Right? If they don't have ODST multiplayer.
ODST never had multiplayer.
Yes, it did.
No, it had
was never-
firefight.
Master Chief was never actually in ODST, wasn't he?
Nope.
Wow.
But it was
Collection didn't
called
even need it.
the ODST, so
Yeah, because it was a
it was a
Spin-off.
DLC,
it
technically.
was a spin-off. But yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Halo's one of those games that I don't ever see being off my hard drive.
I'm gonna remove it tomorrow when you're at work. How about that? Come home to launch it and you have to re-download it.
It's like 80 gigs.
It'll be like 5 minutes.
That's true. I'm sorry, it's 122 gigs.
So
So
God of War is like 90. Ragnarok.
it's a big game. That makes sense. But yeah. I've wasted a lot of hours on that.
Do you think you have? Do you think it's been a waste?
No, not at all.
You shouldn't feel that way.
It's like comfort food.
Yeah.
It's like that, like, you know, you could be trying other food, but like you got this snack that you always just want to have.
Dragon House Buffet.
Oh God, don't remind me. I feel like Dragon House Buffet would be like PT, where it's something you want, but you can't have it.
Right, it's gone now.
Yeah.
And
Some people still have it in their freezers and still access it.
maybe there's actually the owner put up tutorials on YouTube. I don't know if you guys saw that on how to make the food.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I mean, I don't know how you would see that, but it's there.
Yeah, it's not going to come up in anybody's YouTube algorithm anytime soon.
That's
on
why
my home
it has
page.
like 20 million views.
Recommend it.
Well,
Any more that we want to share?
I know.
Well, yeah, I thought this was really fun. I think it was a nice insight into our lives, kind of our histories, and how they're all kind of connected in some ways with these sports games. I thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And how I think our preferences in games are reflected in the games we spent the most hours in. It makes sense. Any last thoughts from anyone?
I'm just kind of like, in the back of my head this whole episode, I've just been like thinking of things for that other topic. And like, it's hard to come up with like really well done, like obscure ones. Like,
Okay.
there's a lot I could just throw off the top of my head, you know? But yeah, so that's in the back of my mind. I'm just thinking about that.
What topic are we talking about? Who knows? You'll have to find out
Yeah.
next episode. Of
Next time.
Or should we tell them now so that they can
No.
be extra excited?
No.
We got to let it stew so they want to come back next week.
They'll come back.
Thanks for listening, everybody. I've been Gabe. This has been Nathan, Cullen, and Brett. We are the Tropical Mix, and this has been the Tropicalcast, episode 15. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
So long.
Bye.